Here we are, back in the effect. Salute, hey Auntie Leah. Truth only. Oh, awesome, awesome. Hi Mayat, Pat Blair, Shannon Smith. Awesome. So there's a few of us here in the building. How do you want to start this thing off? And we thank everyone for the likes. We just ask that everyone keep liking because it's not always easy for us to get through the algorithm. But the more you like and the more you engage, the more people know we're here. So, hey, Charlene. So, today was a interesting day. It was a very interesting day. Oh, welcome, Don. Welcome to Jag Nation. And we got an MVP on the team who's a member who sent us some really interesting information. And, that's kind of what has us here tonight because we're working on something else. There's a lot of stuff going on. And first things first, I just want to say salute to Michael Archer, also known as D'Angelo. We already acknowledged it on Set in the West, but I've just been looking and I haven't seen his face this much on social media or around in quite some time. And this is just, uh, it's autographed hoodies. We might be able to figure that out. We can talk about that in a bit. Uh, but yeah, someone has said, people were talking about the loss to the community and the loss to the music world. And I would have to agree because the truth is there's not a lot of real musicians and real artists left in the game. And, but for right now, it's just, I think part of the reason why it's bothering me so much is because I can't think about him and not think about Angie. And Angie is still a triggering factor for me. Like it's still a triggering factor for me. Everything that she went through, and she went through her bout with illness, and then I saw the video of, their son Michael, and he was crying, and I guess I don't know if he was it doesn't seem like he was close by his dad, so I don't even know how much he knew about his father's condition. Like it's a lot of it's an interesting world we live in, and so I just condolences. It's crazy to have to say condolence to a family twice in the same year. For
Mhm.
both. And it's just a lot. So please don't let us forget because Azaleus wants to know how do we get autograph hoodies. So
How do we get autograph hoodies? Yeah, we'll have to figure that out.
we'll figure that out. Our community here, I know a lot of people think I was about to, you were just catching up and watched about D'Angelo. Yeah, yeah. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing anytime someone dies too soon. It's a terrible thing anytime. Ugh. But I know a lot of people think I'm a hard ass, but I got a big heart, don't I? I think
Mhm.
I would say that I got a big heart.
Mhm.
So anyway, tomorrow we got some major updates to do, and we're going to be doing some Derek Lee updates. We're going to be doing some updates on the Hadleys. But today We got some interesting information that was passed on to us by one of our wonderful people. We're not going to say the name. You know who you are, and we thank you very much. We got too many crazy nosy stalkers here on YouTube. So we like to protect our family. Hey, what's going on, Ms. Ag? Hey, Coley. So yeah. Um, how do we start this?
That's what I was
Where do we start
trying to
this?
figure out right now.
You know
So
what? Well, how about we start here?
let me
So
actually do
another
this.
another Diddy lawsuit got dismissed due to a technicality.
Wait, what?
Jurisdiction. The
What
one where
happened?
he was included as a facilitator and it was Christian's lawsuit and it was on the yacht and the girl said that Christian had been abusive with her on the yacht and whoop de woo and whatever
Mm,
the case may be. Yeah, well,
mm-hmm.
they filed the case in one place. There was jurisdiction, no place, maritime law. Weren't we just talking about maritime law
We
and how
were
private, ships can become their own country. So whatever happens on
pretty
them,
much.
it's hard to to find a jurisdiction um to put it in. So yeah, they skated away from that one. It's funny because it seems like there's a lot going on with Diddy cases. There's a lot going on with Diddy lawsuits. There's a lot going on with a lot. And also, Trump, I think he made his official statement regarding that he's not giving him a pardon.
Yeah, he I don't know why he would expect that.
I mean, he's expecting a lot of things these days. But the problem with expectations is you might get disappointed. So here we are. There is one lawsuit in particular that Diddy was being sued for. And this was probably one of the most explosive when everything, first kicked off. I think part of the reason why the lawsuit was such a hot topic was because Tupac's name was attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened to this woman, Ashley Parham, was punishment for her saying that, she had believed that the diddler was responsible for the demise of Tupac Shakur. So there was a lot involved with it. And when people heard the details of it, they were cringed. They were screaming. They were hollering. It was terrible. It was awful. Christina Coram was mentioned in the case. Ashley was taken from one location and brought to another house where the diddler was, where Christina Coram was. There was some security there. Whoop de woo. She was essayed violently and viciously. She was even essayed with a foreign object, a television remote control, or at least allegedly that's what she reported happened to her. It was quite terrible. Uh, Everyone was kind of disgusted by it, just like, what's wrong with these people. She also made it very clear that she had been given pharmaceuticals. Um, she came to, she was able to get away. She ran for her life. She ran outside. It was a neighbor. It was later reported that the neighbor that she ran to was also in law enforcement. Law enforcement came. There was a lot of stuff that happened. Um, and a lot of it was bizarre. But at the end of the day, she did sue. And she was also in the same documentary that Natanya Rubin was featured in. And they had her in the doc. They had her, was speaking. You could hear her voice, but her image, the image of her, it was restricted, and no one was able to really see her identity. Um, and ever since she was in the documentary, it's kind of just been Now, there was more action on this lawsuit, and it was interesting because in late February, there were more defendants added to the case. One of them was Big Homie CC, the other
Hmm.
one was Drewski, the other one was Odell Beckham Jr., and last but not least, Jaguar Wright. And apparently, I allegedly had um, picked up two people that I never met, don't know, some Jane and John Doe, mother and son, took them from Las Vegas all the way to California, where this poor woman was assaulted, and I was involved. I was
Yeah.
involved. I worked for Diddy. I was this. I was that. It was boop 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 boop. And yeah, so it was really interesting because when it was first announced, everybody online, if I remember, everybody was talking about this. Were they not? And everybody was like, I knew Jaguar was guilty. I knew it. I knew it. That's why she knows everything she knows because she's one of them. Oh my goodness, everybody. I mean, it was so defaming and so slanderous. And it's funny because, for there to be a Google report saying that I share unsubstantiated evidence and claims or whatever the case may be. This lawsuit was definitely uh unsubstantiated.
The
Would you
the
say?
the the definition of unsubstantiated is this lawsuit because um we got word of it and we kind of just waited like normal people would do and say well maybe there's going to be some correction because obviously this is not the truth. This is not factual at all. It couldn't be factual. I think when the news broke, what I leaned over to you and I said, "What's up with this?" And what did you say?
I said there's no way it's possible. It couldn't have happened.
And why is that?
I was in jail
Right.
for another
So,
crime that I didn't
so
commit, that I was later released for.
right. So let me get everybody up to speed, real brief because see what had happened was when I found out, I said, "Wait, you were in jail?" And she's like, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, well, this is a no brainer." I myself contacted Cook County. We got some people over in Chicago who, they got mad love and respect for Jag, and they went ahead and said, "Yeah, we'll do the legwork for you. What you need?" I told them, we need someone to go grab the actual paperwork that shows that she was in jail. Because I said, Jag, you sure you were in jail? And she's like, yeah. And sure enough, we got proof that she was there. I'm not going to get into the particulars or the details or anything like that
Khadijah
because,
Lynn got down to the bottom of it in less than 72 hours and posted it
yeah,
up. People even
yeah,
went
she
to
did.
my Instagram and saw that people said, hey, I'm friends with Jag. She's currently in jail. Whoop-de whoop-de woo, yada, yada, yada. People could see what my last post was. They could see all the gaps. They could see everything.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, the people that were trying to frame me for a crime that I didn't commit didn't bother to do any research.
they're not as thorough as I thought because I said, this can't be. You guys, we
Yeah.
gave 6 months, waited 6 months to see if there was going to be any retraction, to see if there was going to be anything. Nothing. So, you know, I went ahead and just said, bump it. We went ahead and filed a motion I'm trying to actually pull it up. I got so much stuff in here. It's sad. Like this computer here, man. But we filed a motion, and sure enough, the court received it, and not a lot of people reported on it. It's funny, you had a lot more people
Actually,
report. Go ahead.
no, no, you have a lot more people that reported the misinformation,
Hmm.
but not the correction.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. They're more invested in hearing what it is that whatever could be put out there to slander your name. So of course they went ahead and they ran with that case, but when you filed your motion, um it seems like nothing, nobody said anything. You filed a motion showing the court that you was falsely,
I have
um
been.
yeah,
Hmm.
you had been falsely included in a lawsuit. You showed your proof, because the time that they said that you were there, you obviously you had your proof. You showed it, documentation. Hey, couldn't have happened. You showed the exact jail dates, location of incarceration.
All of
You
it.
had your proof, and you basically said, hey, lack of motion. I mean, your motion to dismiss, motion to strike from the complaint because of lack of personal involvement, misidentification, malicious prosecution,
Hmm.
and or frivolous inclusion.
Hmm.
We didn't even get to the part to where we said, we'll request for sanctions, because the attorneys didn't do their proper due diligence. I believe they knowingly filed false claims because they just added you. They also added Drewski. They added Odell Beckham Jr. And I said, hey man, they're using this lawsuit for harassment and leverage.
Yes, salute to 8 months. And welcome back, Margie. Let's be clear. Considering that Ariel Mitchell sat on panel with me on multiple occasions. She sat with, well, we didn't sit together, but she was in the same broadcast with me, Pierce Morgan. And she also sat on panel with me, Sean Atwood, multiple occasions. There was absolutely no need. And considering she was upset that me nor Natanya Rubin were buying her I care about my client's routine and whoopty woo and yada yada yada. Um, it's very fair to say that her putting me in this lawsuit was malicious.
Hmm.
The simple
And
fact that she was attached to it and I was added to it in any way is malicious. Period.
it was defamation. It was
Mm-hmm.
malicious prosecution. And your name publicly tied to this lawsuit
Yep.
had reputational harm.
Yeah.
And we, number one, we served a cease and desist, and basically said, hey, remove it from the lawsuit, a public correction or clarification, no further defamatory claims made against you. So we sent this to Ariel Mitchell, and we sent it to Sean R. Perez. Now, mind you, Sean R. Perez is also a person who is the litigant, or let's just say there's another case that everyone has talked about, and that knows about a situation of a one
We're
last
not even
cry,
gonna
right?
we're not
Right.
even gonna get into it. It's not even
Yeah,
worth it.
but he is the attorney for that person as well. And then I looked at the guy and I said, okay, I did a little research on him. And I said, okay, this guy he has TDS, he has Trump derangement syndrome. And all this didn't happen until after you received your award for the Defender of Freedom at Mar-a-Lago. And I said,
Yes.
oh, we can tie this all to someone not liking Trump. And
Yeah.
that's pretty much where we went with it. So long story short, this is what happened. Late August, September, you submitted the motion. Let me get back on camera real quick. Because I wanted y'all to see that address. That's, you know, right here, right? Right. We sent what we sent to the court, and then I went ahead and just reached out to Mr. Perez. I sent a letter to Mr. Perez, and I also sent one to um,
Paddington.
Ariel Mitchell. Yeah, Esquire. Here it is, right here, right here. Um, Now it came back. If you guys see, this letter came back as like return to sender, unclaimed, unable to forward. These are demand letters. This is a demand letter saying, you know, we need a public apology. We need recompense. Basically, just the litigious stuff that says basically, hey, you you did something foul, and we need you to correct this. And I'll give you the exact words of what Perez said, because Perez got to me immediately, responded back. He received this letter. He didn't run from it. Certified, all that. Y'all see the address on it. This is to Miss Mitchell. Um, Hers came back. She's running. She running. But Perez actually, you know, he he stood on business. Do y'all really want to know what this guy said? He sent back a letter on September 11th, like right away, and basically said, in a nutshell, um,
Screw off.
in
Damn you.
conclusion, there will be no retraction, apology, or compensation. If you wish to challenge your inclusion in a lawsuit, there are procedures that you can follow to litigate your being named in being named a defendant. So he basically was like, he just sent a whole bunch of just legal jargon, but that's what he said at the end. And I said, oh, this dude, he's standing on business. That's what he's doing. Now Ariel, she didn't, she ran. I'll just say that she ran because certified letter, all that, like she never. And this is the address. That's the address. Up Shauna Prairie. He got his. Hers is here. This is her address, and we get a return to sender, unclaimed, unable to forward. So y'all see what this letter right here says, and it states that she, Miss Mitchell, and Mr. Perez, they they filed a motion to withdraw from counsel, essentially. They no longer want to represent the plaintiff, Ashley Parham, in this case.
Can we just pause for a second?
Let's do it.
Let's talk about how crazy that is. And we want to thank everybody for the 100 likes that we have so far. We could use 250, maybe 300 more. Okay, let's be clear. This girl, this lawsuit has been hanging around since 2024. It's been almost a year. Now, they rushed her into, and it's probably longer than that. They rushed her into doing that documentary, which made her ineligible to testify at the trial.
Hmm.
Then they go and add a bunch of other fake defendants, which totally destroys the validity of her case. And then they don't want to remove anybody. They just want to let it sit there and destroy people's name and destroy people's character and slander people. And then all of a sudden, now they don't want to represent her anymore. After they're served, after they were forced to have to deal with having to remove the fake people that they put in there. Like I'm trying to understand. So now y'all just you just made this huge mess of this victim's case. And this is Ariel Mitchell who says that she cares about her client. She wants to see, did he pay? And he's this and he's that, and she's gonna do this and she does this. And isn't her logo or slogan something about she standing on business?
Yep. She's standing more like on business, not business. Business is spelled
Hey
B
everybody, hey Charles.
Usiness. She's standing on Bidnezz. She's
You know
standing
what
on
it's
business.
you know what it kind of feels like to me? Like they took this case just to destroy it.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
sounds like the kind of dumb stuff that Tyrone Blackburn does.
yeah, yeah.
Who's another lawyer that's always suing the bad guy, but for whatever reason, his cases are always getting dismissed. But God said no because it.
Let's bring it back full circle because I'm looking at the
I just
original.
I just find it funny that it's a return to sender when it comes to her being served by us, but she's using this address to say I don't want to be this I don't want to be her lawyer no more.
Exactly. I mean, she got
Don't
the
you have
email.
to
I know
use No, but don't
we
you
know.
have to use a valid, like you have to use like real, like
Yeah,
your real address and all of that stuff
yeah,
anytime you
yeah.
file stuff at court? Because if you start filing fake or old addresses that are non-defunct, that's not that's you can't do that legally. Isn't that like against the law? You have to
It,
like use accurate actual addresses, don't you?
Well, see, I'm not going to get into what we're going to do after. We'll just let the people figure it out. But we'll let the blogs figure it out. But yeah, you have to. I mean, you can't run from a letter. It literally says unable to forward, unclaimed, return to sender. Now, the address that she put on this motion to dismiss document is the same address that she filed the case exactly 1 year ago today. The irony 10/15/24. She filed this case, 62 pages, demand trial for jury. Ashley Parham versus Sean Combs, aka, and all the end, Christina Corm, Shane Pierce, John Doe's 1 through 3, and a Jane Doe. So she did all this last year. 5 months later, amended it and added your name, Big Homie CC's name, Odell Beckham Jr.'s name, and Drewski's name. The so I take it the Jane Doe was you. The John Doe's 1 and 3 were Big Homie CC, Drewski, Odell Beckham Jr.
I mean,
Drewski, go ahead, go ahead.
no, I'm just saying, even if why why would it be that? And then on top of that, when she added our names, there was another John Doe and a Jane Doe that implicated us. So I'm not understanding. Uh, Carla, awesome, awesome. 9
Thank
months,
you.
we love you, darling. No, but I don't get it. Can you explain it to me? 'Cause I don't understand.
I'm
How is it that your address don't work when you're being served, but it does work when you're trying to run away from a case that you destroyed. The
It
judge
don't
should
work like
know
that.
about this, right?
You say what?
I Do you think the judge ought to find out about this?
Well, that's why I said let's not talk about it because we're on open air. But there's some things
Oh,
called sanctions and stuff. With yeah, yeah.
I got, I got. Hey, Mika. I,
The case involved sexual assault, battery, rape, sexual abuse, false imprisonment, and kidnapping. Or kid to the, king and whatever. Defendant Diddy is being sued by countless individuals for crimes similar to the ones enumerated in his complaint. Diddy is currently a federal inmate awaiting criminal trial for crimes similar to the ones enumerated in his complaint. Defender KK is an employee. It goes on to Diddy's predatory behavior was constant and was well known by several individuals, including Diddy's employees, staff, friends, family,
right.
associates. There's a lot of numbers. Like I'm looking at, like I don't want to go through all of it. There's so much. They talk about the parties. They talk about the cover up. In this case, this is 62 pages, y'all. I have it all here. Like I keep everything. Do not get it twisted. I keep everything.
What did
Um,
they say about me, though?
well, I'm actually looking at the original right now.
Original,
I'm
yeah.
not even looking at the amended one where they added you, and it sounded like a Lamisha Fuller Saturday afternoon special, or after school special. It sounded like one of those. I'm just
Mm.
going and I'm looking at the original, and it calls for alarm. Like, oh my god, this is crazy. But then, yeah, let me see if I can get the original. I mean the amended because I
Speaking
do have that.
of Misha,
Oh
do
yeah,
you know she made an appearance yesterday online?
oh yeah, I saw that.
I couldn't believe it. Misha Fuller is back in the chats. Did you Do you guys hear what I'm telling you? Misha Fuller back online. You want to know what's interesting? It's it's where we saw her. You
Yeah,
know, this picture. She said she was that girl in that picture. Do you guys want to know where Misha Fuller was spotted online yesterday? If you want to know, we can tell you. It was really interesting. You know that kid? Dee Dee's got a podcast, the one who wanted to call himself Exposing Me. Misha Fuller was in his chat. Pretty
hmm,
active
hmm,
in his chat.
yeah,
He was interviewing Jonathan Hay after his real life video came out. And I want everybody to be clear. Please don't ask me no questions because I have nothing to say. As Jonathan said in his interview, He had not shared any of that with me. I knew nothing about it. And so we're going to keep it just like that because I know nothing about it.
Yeah, we were shocked.
We're caught off guard just like
Yeah, we've
everyone
been
else
talking to this guy for a good year and didn't know nothing.
at all. Actually, the last conversation that we had with Jonathan was just showing him support and letting
Yeah.
him know that we would continue to pray for him while he was going to get charges, um, well, have his case reopened for his home invasion, because he said that he had new information regarding what had happened to him. And that was the last we had talked about. So we didn't know anything. Um, and, as always, we keep everyone in our prayers. We do. Uh, it's a very, very, very sick, crazy world out here. Welcome, Ivy. But this is what I find funny. There were a lot of interesting people in that chat. And I'm starting to wonder, like, what kind of channel does Didi have? Because
Mm.
he's so busy running around trying to expose everyone. But his moderator was going back and forth, talking with Lamisha. Everyone was sitting there, going back and forth, fighting back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All of this channel engagement about whether or not Jonathan A was telling the truth or lying, and how, you know, especially Measured Man. I didn't know that Measured Man was a Dallas resident who said he was a lawyer. I have no idea. I thought he was just a YouTube troll who spent most of his time stalking me and went from chat room to chat room discussing how everyone would be getting paid for their time clocking in and clocking out of gaslighting and trolling me. That's what I thought. I thought Measured Man was just an internet like troll, YouTube troll foreman who was running around telling people. You remember that day he popped up in Ling Ling's chat, that
Mm.
rabbit hole girl, telling
Mm-hmm.
everybody that the payments would be being issued out very
Mm-hmm.
shortly.
Yep.
Like, these people are unbelievable. And meanwhile, he's sitting in the chat, pretty much running the chat. Like, this Measured guy is running the chat, talking about Didi, I'm gonna make sure that you get the right this and you get the right that. And Didi, I'm gonna do this, and Didi, I'm gonna do that. And I'm telling you, this guy is a liar. And I'm telling you, he's messing it up for all of the real victims. And that's why we're here, because we're a group and we work together to make sure that all of these fake people don't mess it up for real victims. Meanwhile, you're sitting there interacting with Lamisha Fuller. Misha, I am speaking in the chat, who pretended to be this woman, so much so to the point that she was forced out of her Jane Doe status. Do y'all hear what I'm saying? While they're busy sitting there pretending that they give a damn about victims, that they give a damn about who's telling the truth and who's lying. They're sitting there consorting, oh, and talking about me. Oh, and talking about me. That idiot, that freak Misha, sitting in there questioning, asking Jonathan A questions. Well, what about Jaguar? What about what about me? I don't know. It's starting to look like Didi's got a podcast is more like Didi's got a troll farm hookup.
Mm. Well, Didi definitely got a fake dread cap.
Yeah, that too. The dread cap kind of freaked me out. The dread cap, it really did. It kind of freaked me out.
Didi got a BB head, a P head. How about that?
But there's no need to make fun of the child. I'm just trying to figure out How doesn't he know that they were sitting in there? Oh my God, Dee Dee exposed her. Jaguar is a witch, and Jaguar is a this, and Jaguar is a that. Meanwhile, the video that he's showing comes from a channel that's so irrelevant that they got to change their name to pretend like they didn't stink up this whole joint.
Now they go both ways, huh?
Now they both ways.
Both ways.
They go both ways. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And what's worse is to think that they sit there in that chat pretending to be Christians, pointing their fingers at everyone, judging everyone, saying all of these wild things about everybody. And one of the biggest internet lies and one of the biggest internet liars who ruined a real victim's case
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
forced is being hosted in that chat talking about me. I'm just trying to figure it out. Like, because you can't sit up there and pretend to be like a real investigative journalist, and you can't sit up there and pretend like you're running a real channel with that amount of fraudulent weirdos, especially one of the biggest fraudulent weirdos. And now all of a sudden, Lionel B's coming back talking about the death of D'Angelo. Like, what is it with these people? They run around and they ruin people's cases, and they run around and they ruin people's stuff, and they do all of this and they do all of that, and then they disappear for a little while. They
I mean,
disappear for a little while, and then they come back like nothing ever happened. Kind of like how Storm Monroe did with that AI video of me that he pretended he had nothing to do, and then they passed it off and passed it off and passed it off so people could run around saying that I'm backtracking when it comes to Sean Carter when I never said that because it was all AI. And then he comes back like nothing ever happened. Live from Africa. Yeah, the diddy do wop bops, all of them. It's just interesting. I'm just trying to figure out how you can call yourself a serious anything and you had that fraud in your chat who was running around making up all kinds of weird and wild stories, saying all kinds of crazy stuff. And meanwhile, everybody that was in that chat knew exactly who that was.
yeah.
They were all there on the Lionel B shows. They were all there on the Sean Atwoods, going back and forth. Matter of fact, the same way they were going at Jonathan Hay and Dee Dee's chat was the same way they used to go at Lamisha and Adrian. Tell me something. Why didn't y'all address Lamisha there in that chat? Since y'all so worried about fakes and phonies.
And let's circle back to the common denominator
Mm,
of Lamisha and Lionel and Adrian English. It's Ariel Mitchell because Ariel Mitchell represented Adrian English,
yep.
whatever her name is.
Adrian English, yes, she did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Roaches reunited. I like that. That's yeah. Wow. Cat, you're funny. Roaches reunited.
Like, I'm sorry, when I see a bunch of frauds and liars and scam artists and trolls hunching heavy in someone's
Mhm.
chat, I'm
You know
paying
what it is.
attention.
And you know what it is. I'm glad you were over there.
I'm paying attention. Well, I went over there just to support Jonathan.
Yeah, because yeah, we were looking because I was like,
I mean,
yeah.
shoot, Dee Dee's last video with Jonathan got 1.1 million views. Hmm. Interesting. And that
Yeah.
was long before he had 100,000 subscribers. That was back when he only had like 30 or 40,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Just know that we pay attention to the YouTube mess, the YouTube streets. There's a changing of the guard per se, but it's
Mhm.
not really they're not changing their underwear. I'll just say it like that.
You want to know what
But
else
that's
is funny? Speaking of YouTube, academics.
oh, speak on it.
Warning, warning real life street stars and other content creators about doing content on me or about me, and how if you do, you're going to be in trouble with Rock Nation. But it's
Yeah.
Rock Nation that's parked outside your door now
Yeah.
and scaring all your friends.
Yeah.
You gonna blame that on me? Because that ain't got nothing to do with me. It's just funny because there seems to be a concerted effort in people telling people not to do content with me or on me, um, going after people to try to turn people against me so they'll do negative content on me, um, salacious lies. And understand this, I'm about to start going through Dee Dee's chat and reporting every lie, every slanderous lie. I'm about to start reporting his chat heavy. I'm about to start going through his transcripts and reporting and reporting and reporting, because what's going on is slander and defamation. And you doing way too much. You got way too much going on over there. There was no need for my name to be mentioned at all while you're sitting with Jonathan Hay in an interview with Jonathan Hay. There's no reason why your moderator should be allowing people to come through and slander someone for absolutely no reason at all while you're hosting an internet fraud who lied so much to the millions of views that it forced Anna Kane, a real Diddy victim and a real Diddy survivor, allegedly, because her case hasn't been heard yet, but she is going to discovery, and that is her in that picture,
And not
not Lamisha
Lamisha
Fuller.
Fuller. Not at all. You
That's
can you
her.
can you can you
That's who
can
you're
flat
hosting
out
in your show.
you can flat iron your hair all you want. That ain't you.
It's weird. It's weird because people like to act really, 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 really self righteous. They like to sit there and they like to pretend and they like to put it all on. But when you're hosting a bunch of internet gang stalkers, gotta ask why.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But for all of this time to go by, and you got Lamisha Fuller in your chat, and nobody's questioning her. People going back and forth, your moderator's talking to her. I don't know, that looks suspect as hell. But anyway,
Very
back to
sus.
our regularly scheduled programming and
Very,
report.
very, very sus. But let's bring it back. The common denominator with lie, Misha, is Adria English. I believe Adria English said that she was friends with Lamisha, and Adria was also represented by Miss Ariel Mitchell. So
Miss, I ain't got no address, but I use it in court documents.
Miss, I'm not accepting that. But peep game, y'all. Look, they recently just filed this motion to withdraw. I looked through it. Funny thing is well, there are a lot of things that are blacked out, but they only mention Drewski and Beckham. They don't really mention you, Jag in this motion. But essentially, they basically said that they do not want, or they have to withdraw, as counsel should be granted, and they said that Ms. Parham agreed to for them to be released. They said there was a basically lack of breakdown in communication. That's what I'm looking at. Uh, where a breakdown in communication between counsel and client rendered it unreasonably difficult to carry out his duties effectively through trial.
Mm.
Yeah, that's where they were. That was it, September. It's funny. Seems like everything came in September. I mean, you filed your motion end of August, September. We asked for an apology. We asked for basically do a demand letter out there, and around September 15th is when they submitted that. Now, as of October 8th, there was an order denying motion to reconsider. And it was just pretty simple. The attorney in the case of Ashley Parham versus Sean Combs, the attorney essentially, I mean, the motion was reconsidered. The motion to reconsider is construed as a motion for leave to reconsider pursuant to local rules 7 through 9. So essentially, it says according to plaintiffs do not have counsel that could effectively respond on their behalf to defendant Odell Beckham Jr. sanction motion by September 3rd, the September 3rd deadline. See, they Odell Beckham Jr. said, "Hey, I'm filing sanctions." See, we didn't do that because see, the thing is this, y'all understand this. Um, we're also playing a long game, and we're not going to talk too much about it. But yeah, Odell Beckham Jr. basically was like, "I'm putting sanctions on y'all." That's why they're running. That's why Perez and Mitchell are running. But the attorney, I mean, the judge was like, "Nah, y'all, you know, it's ordered. Plaintiff only will be reset after plaintiff's October 30th deadline to retain new counsel." So, in all actuality, we got to get busy on some stuff because when we were talking about the sanction stuff, we'll get on that. OBJ wasn't playing, boy. He said, "Hey," so that's why they're running. They're running.
They think they're going to just slide on away. They're going to just moonwalk like Michael Jackson away from this case, like
Nah,
smooth criminals after they
nah.
defame people's name, after they try to destroy people's character. If anybody suffered from being added to this, it was me. There was already enough slanderous and defamatory things about me. For years, people have been trying to challenge my credibility, been trying to challenge my word. I got people putting stuff up online talking about I'm saying stuff unsubstantiated, and you put my name in this. We don't even know how many people.
And
And
it's
this
and
is
it
why. Mm,
and it's
go ahead.
politically motivated. No, no, no. I'm just gonna say it seems as if it's politically motivated because it didn't happen. They didn't add your name until after mid-February after you received an
A week
award
after
at Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago, a
Yeah.
week after Mar-a-Lago, boom. But then again, Big Homie CC had been very adamant that I was about to be put in a lawsuit
When did we meet? Yeah, we met with him
in
in
November.
October, November of
Hmm.
last year, and he did. He said they're gonna sue you. Jay-Z is gonna sue you. He was so adamant. Yeah.
Which is funny because this is a Diddy lawsuit.
Well, like I said, with my receipts, with my narratives and receipts conversation that I'm gonna have with you guys, I'm gonna tie it all in because Ariel Mitchell has connections to Jay Z. Yeah, and she sue me if you think that's false, because I can prove it. But he was so adamant about Jay Z was gonna sue you, and he was like, "Dude, you tripping?" Because we were thinking about it was about the Pierce Morgan conversation. That's what I'm thinking. I'm stuck there, and it's like, no, they went somewhere else.
Yeah. So this is what we're dealing with, guys. These kind of clowns. Call yourself an attorney, and you're going to use a victim who you're supposed to be representing their best interest to exact revenge or just malicious intent on someone who you don't like. Hmm. You know, all of these lawyers out here, they like playing games with people's lives. It's the court system is a joke.
At this point, it is.
It's a joke. It's a joke for people to be able to just throw anybody's name in a lawsuit and make up all kinds of heinous things. Like what kind of person dreams up and the stuff that they said that I did in that lawsuit, for it to not be true, you got to be a sick puppy.
To think of
I don't
that
just
crap.
run around making up stuff on people and saying that people did stuff that they didn't do. Now, you might not like the things that I've had to say about some people. You might not like the things that I've pointed out about some people, but I need y'all to do me a favor. I need y'all to do me a big favor. Put a one in the chat if I have exaggerated any about the nature of the diddler. Put a two in the chat if I'm a stone cold liar and I just made wild salacious things up about the people that I've spoken about. Put a one in the chat if you know that everything that I've said about these weirdos in the industry has been on par. Put a two in the chat if I was just absolutely wrong and put a bunch of false allegations on people. No, for real. And I want y'all to keep it a buck.
Let me say something else. I'm also looking at the separate motion declaration of Ariel Mitchell in support of the uh, administrative motion to seal. So there's a lot of lines that are sealed. In fact, it's pretty much like majority of this declaration. I'm curious to know, you know, I'm curious to know what's up with this. Lots of things being sealed, lots of things being concealed.
What is this, a redaction party? Everybody's got to redact something. Everybody's got to conceal something. I'm sick and tired of people playing with my name. One love to you, Mo Gigi. It's wild. How people just get to run around making stuff up and acting crazy and talking nuts about people for absolutely no reason at all. It's kind of nuts. It's kind of wild how people just get to sit there and make stuff up about me. But I get called a liar for calling a spade a spade. I'm really sick and tired of people playing with my name. I'm sick and tired of people playing on my top, and I'm sick and tired of people lying to the public. Trying to shame me for having the courage to say what everybody else knows is true. But people are more worried about getting paid than they are huh, getting justice.
Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. Okay, I'm looking at Drewski's motion to for leave to file a motion for reconsideration. First line he put, this case is and always been a fraud on this court. Boom. And then he said Ariel Mitchell has repeatedly lied to this tribunal and others. She's currently the subject of a pending Florida bar disciplinary action. They said see October 6th, and they lay out the violations and they lay out the Florida bar rules, transactions with a person other than clients. Ooh, truthfulness in statements to others. Dishonesty, fraud, deceit, misrepresentation. Wow. Her alleged misconduct is in that action involves telling a witness that she will pay them for their testimony if they corroborated actual activities against a celebrity. I think I know who that is. The Florida bar noted that Ms. Mitchell then misrepresented the status of the bar's investigation to both the media and the court. The Florida bar further alleges that Ms. Mitchell's response to a sanction motion regarding the alleged witness tampering involved improperly attacked the witness credibility by falsely claiming that the witness was intoxicated. Now, Ariel Mitchell and Sean Perez seek leave to ask the court reconsideration for the court granted of their own request to withdraw from the case. There are no grounds for Ms. Mitchell and Mr. Perez filing anything in this case, nor any basis for reconsideration of the court's prior order. The case involves demonstrably false allegations of a horrific nature levied by Ariel Mitchell and her co-counsel Sean Perez
Mm.
against well-known celebrities that have absolutely no relationship to the plaintiff. So he said Mitchell and Perez knew of the false nature of these allegations at the inception of this case. I'll stop there, and I'm going to read the rest on my own. Jesus, it's getting heavy.
And
Yes.
this is who Pierce Morgan continues to platform, or at least was platforming,
Yeah. Yeah.
even after she put me in a fraud case
Yeah.
just to dirty up my name. This is who News Nation kept platforming. A lot of people platformed her leading up to the Diddy trial. You know, it's funny when you go online, you read some documents and you go online and you see someone and you see a report say that I'm known for making unsubstantiated claims. And then when you ask who, it's the list and the cast of characters. Wow, something else. Who said Jaguar Wright makes unsubstantiated claims? Jay-Z's legal team? These are the same people that been busted lying in court they damn selves. And they do it in court. Unsubstantiated. Pierce Morgan, Joe Budden, Goofy McKnight. These are your so.
I,
Oh yeah,
I
and
really, I
Common,
really.
and
Oh,
Common.
yeah, and common, yeah, and common. See, look, let me pause you real quick because as I'm reading the rest of this, I really can't wait to just like disclose, ooh, what's really going on. But I'm gonna
Mm.
wait because see, the thing is when you get called out or they say you're making unsubstantiated claims of whatever. In all honesty, as I'm reading this, the rest of the Drewski, um, shout out to Drewski. I'll say that because I could I'm firsthand witness to know how it affected you. I could imagine how it affected him. He's a man. It's bad for you as being a woman being included in some bull crap like this, but I would love to talk to him and OBJ and just give them the game on who's really running the show behind the scenes. Because boy. But carry on. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done.
This is oh
Y'all just think y'all just going straight, just smooth criminal moonwalk out of this mess you've made, huh? Annie, are you okay?
mm,
Annie, are you okay? You've been hit by, you've been hit by, what? Now you don't want to be that girl lawyer no more. You didn't have a problem with being a lawyer when you was sitting there in the documentary, though, flapping your gums off with your big smile on your face. You didn't have a problem with dragging that girl in front of a camera, making it almost impossible for her, actually, no, making it guaranteed impossible for her to be a witness in a Diddy trial. Like, it's just, everybody handled things so nice, didn't they? So nice. Hmm.
mm. Drewski put in his suit that I mean in his response about your declaration and your evidence explaining that you were in jail in Illinois.
Oh,
Huh? Yeah.
Drewski mentioned me as well, huh?
Yeah, because essentially he's building you gotta see this. This is I'll send it to you. It's nuts. But that's why I say shout out to him because he's standing on business. And all you're trying to do is defend people's freedom. That's it. And you get attacked for defending one's freedom. So I'll never have anything bad to say about him per se, unless he say something bad about me. But shout out to Drewski because yeah, you're standing on business, bro, and I see you. Um, and we got some stuff we got to do. Some other stuff we got to do to follow up with this case. We're just not going to announce it. It's just going to just get done. Um, but yeah, he mentioned you, and like I said, I would love to just chop it up with him and just let him know who's running the show behind the scenes.
Hmm. I'm just curious. How long is it gonna be before reality is embraced? These people made a fool. They made a fool out of that girl. Poor Ashley Parham. You remember what I said to you the first time I
Hmm.
heard that they mentioned me in that case?
Hmm.
I said, I'm innocent. I ain't got nothing to worry about.
Hmm.
They just destroyed this girl's case.
Well,
They destroyed her case.
she admitted some things. I got to send you what I have here because not to say that she's innocent like that, but you just got to. That's why I say we just got to have a powwow, even with this, because yeah, it's more to it. It's really more to it. I'm gonna send this to you. Wow.
Everybody always playing on somebody's top. Huh, man. Hmm. We got anything else left here? Because I know we still have more work to do to get ready for
We
the
have
updates.
we have so much, and we can't fit them all in one. This situation here says it all. I forgot to take my notes because we got to timestamp certain things. We definitely will be back because there's just the Hadleys update, the the Cardello Smith situation, the update. We're ready to start moving forward, getting some stuff together there. There's a lot. I mean, there's just so much, man.
All of this stuff is very explosive. What I will say is this: for anyone saying that I'm sharing unsubstantiated evidence, especially regarding the Derek Lee Cordello Smith case.
We fine tooth comb stuff because of situations like this.
But what I will say is the next filing that we'll be sharing is going to be explosive. If I were you guys, I would you know, it's one thing to deny something out of embarrassment. And I know a lot of people don't want to believe that Diddy has male victims or that Diddy did this or that Diddy did that. And I know the easiest way to get away from it all is to say, "Oh, I don't know that person. I never knew that person." But I'm gonna tell you something. What we have to share with you guys next is gonna make it very hard for a lot of people to get away from it. Maybe it'll make it a little easier for people to understand what we're sharing and why we're sharing it the way we're sharing it. So on that note, I'm gonna let you wrap up tonight because I'm good. I'm just tired. Like the
Yeah, you.
idea that my name keeps getting thrown in crap that has absolutely nothing to do with me, and people want to call me a liar. I get lied about so much online, it doesn't even make any sense. And it's to think that you want to make this big stink, you want to make this big fuss, and then the second that you're addressed, not only do you not want to accept your mail, people want to say that I got my track shoes on. This hoe is running from everything. Return the sender.
See, and I hate to say it, Jag. I guess um, you are an artist, and slowly but surely, let's get you back in that bag. And I know some artists, and I appreciate, and that's why cruelty free and what we're gonna do with cruelty free is gonna be so great because I know how it is to be an artist, and I also know how it is to be, technical, handle business, engineer, all that good stuff. You got to let the artist be the artist. When I was in studios with certain artists, and you know, you let the creativity flow, and You talk about the splits and the publishing later, but you should at least have a general idea. Okay, you wrote this hook, you wrote that. What we talking about for the, at least in general, and that should be jotted down, stuff like that. Certain people should handle the business. Certain people you let be artists. You are an artist, and they were just anticipating you not necessarily handling the business side of this, but this situation. Um, no more, no mas. We're not gonna just let business slip up. And that's what they're anticipating with you moving forward. Like anything that's dealing with business, you're gonna slip, you're not gonna do it, you're not gonna handle it. That ain't happening. We got a bunch of people that's in our corner that want to see us win, and you're taking the right steps in being sober as a gopher, getting on your health and getting on your business because that's what's important right now. Um, the way these people play with, you see how they do with lawsuits. You see how they do with your name online. We were noticing last year how they were just coming up with different stories, including your name. No, nothing factual. The funny thing is they can say you and some unsubstantiated, whatever, but they don't talk about the people who drug your name and just said something about what you said, but you never said it. That doesn't get called out, nor does you know unsubstantiated claims be called against them. In fact, the young lady who's in this picture, you did the research on her, and Jag does research, and you hit me to Anna Kane's real life and what had happened to her is very sad, it's very tragic, um, and she deserves justice. Someone who came online last year and perpetrated like that was them. Anna Kane is clearly a Caucasian woman and has some big, goofy, ghoul, gargoyle looking uh, girl claiming to be her. It's the same thing Ariel Mitchell and Sean Perez have done with this case where they drug your name and drug Drewski's name and drug OBJ's name into it. Um, it's all for clout. It's all for media. It's to get their names out there. She did all that, and she doesn't realize that she's affected real people's lives, emotions, their spirit. God gonna see you for that, though. That goes
You want to
for
know what would be really sad? Wait a minute. What happened? Everybody left?
that's weird.
They're draining our views.
Ah, that yeah.
They're kicking people out.
Ah, wow. Yeah, it's low. What happened? What happened to
They're
our numbers?
kicking people out.
That's crazy. Maybe they left because I was talking. I don't know. Dang,
Nah.
19? It went down to what's part of the game? Hold on, let me look at
We
this.
had more people than that in the chat.
Yeah, I know. It got down to 19. I guess when I get to spitting, people leave.
Nah, that's not you. That's not you. That's YouTube.
Yeah, that's YouTube. That's the rock. That's Mr. Carter. Okay. It says it's up to 260 now. That's crazy. Yeah, it literally, yeah, I see it spinning, spinning. They were, oh wow, they were playing around. Yeah, it got down to 19, y'all. I was spitting. It got down to 19, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
See, look, even YouTube, y'all keep playing. And this is not a threat or a promise or nothing. Keep playing. Myrna, we're gonna look into that.
We don't know. Even though we know they enjoy nepotism, we don't know. Not yet. Mm. Hmm. Where were we?
I mean, I was just spitting, and I was just saying, the wrath of God is real. Don't get it twisted.
You want to know what would be sad? If that case was a fake all along. But it's interesting because of everything that's in that case.
Yeah, and who is attached to?
Yeah.
Can't keep running away. Can't keep running away.
Crazy.
They are running. Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna forward you over the other document, and yeah, I'm forwarding it over to you right now because we got to
Mm.
go over this. But we got a lot. The Hadleys, the Derek Cardello Lee Smith, um, Derek Lee Cardello Smith. I'm sorry.
We'll be handling that tomorrow. We got a
Yeah.
lot to share with you guys, and it's gonna be explosive. So you guys better prepare yourselves. Um just so you guys know, part of the reason why we go over the cases that we go over the cases that we do is because they all have something in common. Truth being hidden or justice being denied.
Mm, mm,
Those
mm.
are points of passion for us both. Truth being hidden, justice being denied. And in a lot of times, the things that we talk about, both are happening at the same time. The truth that's being hidden enables justice being denied. There are some people out there, Derek's case is it's not easy. Trying to keep a level head and not be too emotionally involved to make sure that you're handling things as they need to be handled, because the truth is it's a deep rabbit hole. It's very complex. Um, they work so hard to make it as easy as possible for people to not believe someone. They work so hard. And if it wasn't for some of the things that happened to me, I could still find myself easily being in denial. But then there's that space inside your heart, inside your soul, and your bones that says, listen, the truth is in there. When I think about, mm, yeah, yeah. When I think about the Moray and Javon, when we did the AI breakdown of the AI video, there were so many people that were just willing to look at that video and just accept it. There were so many people that were just willing to, like when I heard the people doing their commentary, and I mean, I know what she's accusing her mom of doing is crazy, but look at the way this guy is hurting her, and he's a bum, and he's a this, and he's a that, and people were so quick to just believe it. People were so quick to just believe it. And I stopped and I said, no, there's something off with this. And I watched and I looked and I studied it. And we went over it that day. We went through it. We walked it down. And you guys were all able to see what was right there in front of our faces. There's something about Derek's case. There's so much. There's so much that you could easily just write off. There's so much that you could easily say, ah, ah. But then there's those specific things that just like that jump out at you. Yeah, it's extremely scary, the lies that AI can create. It's extremely terrifying. I have it on good authority, and I have reason to believe that there's some evidence about Derek that's been AI too. I'm not gonna say it for sure. I got to examine it myself, and we're gonna see what's what eventually. But I've been getting harassed ever since I shared his name on this channel. I've been getting harassed in my emails almost every day. And there's some other things that have happened in the backdrop that I'm not at liberty to share with you guys just yet. But if I ever, man, the unfair nature of all of this is, but I know it's like to sit behind a door that's locked and you gotta wait for somebody to open it up. Oh, you don't have the email address? Try my name, Jaguar Wright at gmail.com. Um, uh, yeah, guys, and that's what makes our channel so different. That's what makes what we do over here different. Because when we sit down with you guys, we're talking to you guys. We're sharing with you guys. This isn't about just doing content or making videos, which we do and we do very well. But this is about having an intimate moment with y'all to get you to understand, to get you to see. You know, The stuff that's happening to Demore, the things that have happened to me, the stuff that's happening to Derek, it can happen to anybody. And understand this isn't about me trying to make guilty people look innocent. This isn't about me capping for clicks and views or because I want, you know, the, the bad guys to go down so bad that I'm willing to share anything and that I'm willing to do anything because that's the story that they're trying to paint. They're trying to paint that my opposition is such an issue for me. My opposition is such a problem for me that I'm willing to just make stuff up, that I'm willing to just say whatever, that I'm willing to just use what that's not me. That's not how I operate. They're going to try to convince people that I'm making all of this up for whatever reason or another. But see, for me, it all comes down to two things. It's not about me convincing people that someone's innocent. It's not about me trying to sell it. It's not about me trying to make it or trying to turn it and trying to flip it. What we do here is we go through the facts and the details and we let you decide for yourselves. This isn't about me trying to convince y'all. This is about me showing you so you can make up your own mind. Every freedom we take for granted. Yep, just like that. All depending on who's holding the key. It's not about me explaining myself. It's about me saying it for the record. So, Odell,
Yeah.
we good here? We done?
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're dealing with tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We're probably going to schedule a live. So make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. And if you want to be a part of the chat, please grab a membership. Yeah. A community of conscious thinkers. Do you know how terrifying that is for some people in this world? So good night, everybody. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. We got new updates on the Cordello Smith. We definitely have new updates on the Hadleys because there's a lot of information that's not being shared. And you guys don't sit with everybody. Some of you guys only sit with us, but we wanted to make sure that everything leveled out and there was nothing extra to add. So yeah, it's time to come forward with another Hadley update. Uh yeah. And on that note, we're out of here. Bye. You gonna say goodbye, Odo?
No.
He's probably he's probably reading something. Knowing him. All right, I'll see you guys later. Really? Goodness. Al Bundy. Al Bundy tonight.